Hey, today I'm going to do something that's been requested quite a lot. I'm going to do commentary on not a full game, but on the deployment of a single game that took place at Rookie Zealand a couple of months back. It's the first game where Victor, who ended up winning the tournament, plays Henrik. They're both using mechanized forces and they're playing Breakthrough on my winter table. So I thought that this might be an interesting opportunity to just talk through what we're seeing with such a thing, and also do what people are requesting, my live commentary on what I think is maybe a mistake or not, or why I think that. So let's go. Here we are on YouTube. The game. Sorry, I'm going to skip to the start. There. Right. So this is the table that they're playing on, and as you can see, it's got loads of hills and forests. There's a lot of clump foliage here that they have chosen to basically ignore. They can drive through it. It's soft cover, and there's a bunch of houses. Now Henrik was pretty happy about that because he's got a multi-rocket launcher in his army list. He's got 3 armored vehicles, and then he's got sorry, the noise is very loud for me here. He's got an armored platoon as well. So, and right now they're just checking the table to see which side they want. Victor is commenting that he is not finding a lot of areas to drive through, which is true. I set it up deliberately so that there's not a lot of straight lines. Now Victor chooses, he won the roll-off, and he chooses the left side for us, which I think is clever. Why? Because Henrik has a multi-rocket launcher. Now he doesn't want houses in his deployment area, which the right side does have a couple of houses over here. So that is very clever. Now, what it does though is it gives Henrik this very nice option of a hill straight on his deployment zone edge here, where he could place a multi-rocket launcher that would have a lot of line of sight. It would be blocked by the 2 forests over here, but that would basically be it. Now the breakthrough is with meeting engagement, so they're driving onto the board here, and I will talk you through all of turn 1. Set up. People are moving their armies. Let's give them a minute and go. Right. Henrik has Brandenburgers, which obviously means that Victor is not going to have reserves, because that would be dumb. But Henrik puts them in his transport. He's got a Hanomag. And then the infiltrators have to go. We played it that you can infiltrate, and that you just have to be 12 inches from the deployment zone edge. So you can't just run out the first turn. Now, where does Henrik place his? Right, so where does Henrik place his? He's got a Spectrum unit. I would go way to the edge. Look up here, there's a couple of forests on the edge up here. That's a pretty good place to place his infiltrators, where Victor can't really get to them easily. And he does so. Good boy, Henrik. Good boy. That gives him a lot of cover. Victor now has to send a dedicated force over there to kill them if he wants to kill them. Otherwise, they're going to creep along and out his deployment zone edge at some point. That was the Spectrum. Right, now it's dicing back. The two opponents shake hands. Henrik on the right, Victor on the left. And remember, Victor ended up winning the tournament. Victor goes first. And he's thinking way too long here. Ah, sorry, they haven't even draw. Right, here we go. Victor goes first. And he obviously goes down. This is one of the things. He goes down with a couple of dudes inside a transport. And he continues doing that. He's wasting time. He wants Henrik to expose himself first by moving onto the board. An obvious and clever tactic that all tournament players do. Now it's Henrik's turn. Henrik, at this point, he could actually choose to do stuff with his Spectrum, but that would maybe expose them. So instead, he pulls in a flagged Zwilling. He can obviously move 6 inches in. This is never going to get off the board. So what he does instead is he places it where he knows he can see straight across the table, down the central line here, and cut off that line. Anything that Victor moves in here will be in danger. However, that's the only line he's got, right? He's very, very limited in that line. Because that means that Victor could easily move over here, not be seen, easily move over here, not be seen. It's only if he drives down the central street of that village that he is in trouble. Victor again goes down. Victor again goes down. That's a lot of down. That's what you can do, especially with mechanized forces. Another down. And another down. Oh, the dice are not coming up Victor's way here. Henrik is in luck. Again, Victor. Henrik can go again. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Do you agree with that placement of the flagged Zwilling? There's not a lot of good places for Henrik to put his Zwillings. If he could, he might want to move up onto the hills, just for line of sight, right? Instead, what he does now is he moves an armored car, and he does a run move, driving all the way up here, trying to stay hidden. That's a very aggressive move. It's a very aggressive push. With an armored car, it only has an MMG, but he can basically go all the way around the bottom here, trying to push out of Victor's back line. So Victor now needs to do something in order to counter him. But obviously, Victor's mechanized forces have yet to actually do anything. Now, Victor gets a dice. Victor is contemplating doing a very aggressive move into the center of the village. They are playing the central road as a road, which means that he could really run far. It's a double heavy autocannon that he's driving towards. If he does that, that is very dangerous. And if he gets, like, if he drives up and moves over here, he's pretty much locked away, depending on how they're playing those hills, right? There's not a lot of places he can go. He can go around that house and down here. He picks a Humber. And pulls it into... Yep. Now, this is the clever bit. Right, he's here, so he's taking the duel with the heavy autocannons, but the Humber has recce. So that's a pretty safe bet. He drives in, and then he can take a couple of shots, which he does. He misses. Now, the obvious thing for me is, since the dice are falling like they're the obvious thing for me is, with the mechanized forces, you want to concentrate as much of your army as possible in one location. Now, Henrik, obviously, he's a little less mechanized, so he wants Victor to spread out. He wants to defeat him in, or have him go straight at his guns, right? Which means that basically he wants to go late with his guns. Now, he's already gone early with one of his guns, which that may prove to be a mistake later on in the game, I think. Now, Victor puts one of his white scouts down. The problem for those is they're wheeled, like the Humber. So he drives up behind that house, turns. He doesn't want to go too close to the Flak-Zwilling, so he's ready to go around the further edge, the edge furthest from us right now. Both of these guys, by the way, they're talking about it right now in Danish. Both of them talking about how they are no longer considered rookies. This is their last rookie tournament. They've done too well and been to too many tournaments, both of them. Right. It is Henrik's turn. What does he pick? Again. Okay. Henrik drives another armored car all the way over there on the flank. 2-2-2s. Do I agree with that? He's opening up for Victor to push through the other flank when he has all his mobile stuff on one flank. That might turn out to be a problem later on, I think. Now, Victor is trying to deal with the Spatruppen. He pulls in an armored car, I think it's a Humber, drives straight up towards them. Henrik has not moved them yet. The TO intervenes a bit. They're discussing driving along edges. Remember, people, if your vehicle is driving along an edge and it can't actually turn without driving over the edge, then you can't turn. But fortunately, Victor is actually moving from the 12-inch mark, so he's using his full deployment zone here. Now, the problem for Henrik is, what does he do? His Spatruppen are all the way up towards, and with Victor driving up, he'll be in point-blank range. If he goes down, he might halve the hits from the autocannon, but Victor fires HE from the autocannon. Henrik. Henrik cannot gain bonus cover save, but he can halve the hits. Right now he is in soft cover with infiltrator, so it's a hard cover save. Henrik elects to stay up. He's hit twice. All of them are hit. So Victor needs 4s. All of them. Oh, that's a good roll. That's pretty lucky. Cover saves. Two of them die, and they get 2 pins. Ooh, this is the worst possible scenario for Henrik. And he rolls a foobar. They are gone. That was brutal. But that is what happens when you infiltrate too close to the enemy and you can't really move out immediately. Then you're a kill point sitting there, right? And they're not supported. Now, however, that does mean I think he should have gone down. But this means that Victor's armored car is now way on the flank. But notice how Victor's whole army so far is all on this half of the board. All of it. Henrik has spread out. Right? He's up here, he's down here, he's over here. Henrik gets to go. And this is another flak tvilling. He pulls it over to the side. Again, he's not giving himself many... Right, the board isn't giving him many places where he can go and have a lot of line of sight, right? He's trying to counter Victor's Humber and White Scout car on that flank. Victor gets another one. Now Victor is considering his right flank. Ooh. So, we can't really see this because of the camera angle, but Victor is doing a run order over on his right flank, way down here near the camera. So he runs all the way from 12 inches of his board edge and all the way towards the center of the board with a White Scout car. That is a very aggressive push. Now, because Henrik has already moved a lot of his mobile anti-tank, his armored cars and stuff, he can't really do anything about this, right? Victor was asking him, so what do you have in that Brandenburger unit? Does it have a Panzerfaust? And Henrik's like, no. And that meant that Victor was setting up, he was getting ready for this very aggressive push. Victor admiring my buildings here. They are made with teddy bear fur as straw roofs. Right, Henrik's turn. He's thinking. Yeah, Henrik, you are in a little bit of trouble. Victor's whole army, all of his army, the full 4 units that are down right now, the Humber over here, the White Scout car here, the Humber here, and the White Scout car here, all of them are mobile, all of them can change places really easily, but they are focusing on this half of the board. So this is a 4-man platoon commander. Sorry, no, it's not a platoon commander. It's 4 Feldjägers. Right. Again, Henrik is trying to stop the rush of Victor's forces. Henrik goes again. No, Henrik. He pulls in his final armored car. This is too early. This is a mistake. Right, okay? So, this is what happens quite often. One hit. Does he get it? He's shooting at the white scout car in the center, right? He's driven up, and he immediately takes... Right now, he is... like, Victor is not done pulling stuff in. So... It's a side arc shot, so it's a good shot. But he could have waited. It would have been the final thing he should have done, because right now he's pulled in all his anti-tank assets. They need to measure range, because the autocannon... It's good. So he has +2, which means 6 in the side. That's a 3. No, that's not good. Victor is explaining how the difference works between HE and autocannon solid shots to Henrik here. Yeah, then they're asking the TO. Let's just skip ahead. Right. Sorry, I skipped a little bit ahead. Victor has pulled in his universal carrier over here. I would not have done that. That for me again is spreading a little. Now he has a stack hound. And he also takes... Both of them are spreading out. This, again, for me, is a mistake. He's covering the flank, which is good. That stack hound is key to killing the armored cars of Henrik here. Because it has Recce, it has armor 8, it has a light AT gun. It's really, really good. I think Victor would have done better actually staying in the center of the board where he could spread out or could go to either flank. Right now, Henrik does have a little bit of a chance to do something. Now he goes down with, pulls in his multi-rocket launcher. There's no good place to put this, and there's no good targets. It's never going to shoot. Basically, what he could do is he could put it on. He could pull it in way down here by the camera and just walk 6 inches across the board, hoping to have enough turns to just walk all the way across the board. What else are you going to do with it? It's never going to shoot. The only good place to place this multi-rocket launcher is on this hill way down here in the corner. It's the only good place. Yeah, well, there's a hill on the other corner. You could place it there. On top of the hill, though. That would be my recommendation. But if they're playing them like rough ground, they may not be able to do that, so... He puts it way over there. There is no targets. And there's no way to get out of there. That is a dead multi-rocket launcher. And then he has his Hanomag with the 7-man Brandenburgers inside. Now that really needs to go over here. Henrik, if he's going to have any chance, he needs to break through this flank here. So it really needs to go over here. And the Hanomag is a half track, so he can easily drive over this. He could easily drive up and block. No, Henrik, stop! Stop yourself! Come on! Oh, no. He pulls it all the way over there. Both of these guys are spreading out way too much. Way too much. And that Hanomag is now very much in danger of being flanked by the Humber that could drive up, shoot it in the flank. We have an HMG sitting on this white scout car. Yeah. This is not good. I think Victor is going to sneak something out, but I'm not sure it will be over on this flank here. The best place for Victor is actually right up here right now. Henrik does not really have anything that can stop him if he pushes this flank over here. Right, that is it. And obviously the game ended in a victory for Victor. So, but I think both of these players made a mistake in spreading out too much. I think Victor would have been better off staying in the center of the board and then going towards the flanks because he has so much movement. And I think Henrik should have waited with his armored cars to very, very late in the first turn. That's it. Let me know in the comments if you would have done differently. Where would you have deployed your stuff? Let us all know, and I will see you next time. Cheers.